For months, the parents of a very sick little boy named Charlie Gard have fought a legal battle to save their son's life. Well, today, holding back tears, Charlie's father said that tests now show it is too late. We could have helped him, but the father says we were not allowed. I'm Brent, Goff in Berlin. This is The Day.
As Charlie's devoted and loving parents, we have decided that it's no longer in Charlie's best interests to pursue treatment, and we will let our son go and be with the angels. This is one of the hardest things that we will ever have to say, and we are about to do the hardest thing that we will ever have to do, which is to let our beautiful little Charlie go. We now know, had Charlie been given the treatment sooner, he would have had the potential to be a normal, healthy little boy. We will have to live with the what-ifs, which will haunt us for the rest of our lives. Despite the way that our beautiful son has been spoken about sometimes, as if he is not worthy of a chance at life, our son is an absolute warrior, and we could not be prouder of him, and we will miss him terribly.
Also on the show, an exclusive from behind the veil of so-called Islamic State. I'll talk with the journalist who met the German girl who ran away to join IS. Now she says she wants to come home.
Linda is from Pulsnitz, a quiet town in Saxony. She ran away from home and traveled secretly to Iraq via Turkey. In Mosul, she married an IS fighter who died shortly after her arrival. Now the 16-year-old says she's had enough of Iraq.
I asked her whether she wanted to go back to Germany. She answered yes straight away. She said she wanted to get away from the weapons and from the war. She regrets joining the so-called Islamic State, but now she doesn't know what to expect.
Well, we begin the day with two parents who say they have no choice but to let their little boy die. The parents of the terminally ill British boy, Charlie Gard, today dropped their bid to take their son to the U.S. for experimental treatment. Charlie's father, holding back tears outside the London court, blamed the legal system, which he said robbed his son of precious time in which the medication may have helped. Baby Charlie suffers from a rare genetic condition causing muscle weakness and brain damage. His parents had battled in court for weeks to have him treated in America. But the London hospital treating Charlie said that would have only caused him more suffering and had advised the parents to take the boy off life support. Here is part of what Charlie Gard's father said earlier today.
The American and Italian team were still willing to treat Charlie after seeing both his recent brain MRI and EEG performed last week. But there is one simple reason why treatment cannot now go ahead, and that is time. A whole lot of time has been wasted. We are now in July, and our poor boy has been left to just lie in hospital for months without any treatment whilst lengthy court battles have been fought. Charlie has been left with his illness to deteriorate devastatingly to the point of no return. We are now going to spend our last precious moments with our son Charlie, who unfortunately won't make his first birthday in just under 2 weeks' time.
Understandably, a very emotional father there. Our correspondent Bergen Maus joins us tonight from London. Birgit, the father blamed the hospital and the legal system today for wasting what he said was precious time for his little boy. Has there been any reaction tonight from anyone from the hospital?
Not as far as I'm aware. The hospital have always been very, very careful with any statements that they have come out with in order not to, I guess, hurt the parents or in order to inflame any of the emotions that have been connected with this case, because it's attracted huge sympathy and support from people from all over the world. Crowdfunding, and millions were donated for Charlie, and even outside the hospital there were people who really tried to support the parents, and this has been very, very difficult between the parents and the hospital because they've had, and for a while now, this fundamental disagreement where you had the parents on one side who said they know their baby best, they think that he didn't suffer, and also they thought that his brain damage wasn't as advanced as the hospital made out. Now the hospital have always maintained that they acted in the best interest of the child and that simply he would have suffered if there was more treatment, and they had argued for months now that he should be taken off the life support. So really quite inconsolable, these two parties.
The case of Charlie Gard generated international attention. I mean, from the Pope to the U.S. President, the attorney today for the Gard family said that this case is worthy of a Greek tragedy. He said the family hopes to set up a foundation so that the lesson of this tragedy can be learned. The lessons of this tragedy, are they clear and apparent tonight?
Those lessons, they really depend whose side you are on. If you're on the side of the parents of Charlie Gard, they would have said it's too much time, the legal battle was too long, and that precious time would have wasted. However, on the hospital side, they would have maintained that they've always acted in the best interest of the child. And Great Ormond Street Hospital here in London is a world-class hospital. They are specialists. They are treating very sick children with also serious and sometimes rare conditions. So for them to have endured abuse as they have had, the staff at the hospital, and even threats, is quite extraordinary. So the experience of the hospital and the parents was a very tragic one, and you could compare it with the Greek tragedy, and sadly there is now a very sad ending to the story.
Yeah, a sad ending indeed, all the way around. Our correspondent Bergen Maus tonight on the story for us in London. Bergen, thank you very much.